Vincenzo'S Go Crypto Investing this March the 13th, 2024 is starting out with a little bit of a return to the pump action here in the Bitcoin, the XRP, and across the crypto sphere. As this weekend we had it dubbed uh, Pump Watch Advisory and Warning. And you can see uh, we need to go actually into the other one. And we ask you to bell notification, comment down below, like the channel, and share to get that first mover advantage and that truth, trust, education, and most importantly, information that you come to expect when you are here on Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. We do know with a quick briefing of where we're at, this head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern, the value of becoming a member of this building movement of truth and trust with the information and education is the first mover advantage right back there in early to mid-January. In that circle, we identified this head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern there in yellow. It's been on there ever since. We're building out and fulfilling and finishing the right shoulder. The neckline has been identified at this purple horizontal neckline, where you can see we had a cluster of support when we built the right shoulder. We had a cluster and widespread multiple hits of support during the head, and now we've had a cluster just like the left shoulder and the right shoulder of support, and now it's trying to break down. And we've had the bears cross officially now in XRP. It was the last one to do it, but you can see now the 100-day moving average, and we've been every day for 2.5 months, we've been saying a bear's cross was going to happen, and then a golden bear's cross, more than likely. This was one of the last ones, if not the last one, to do the bear's cross. You can see the 50 is now in the daily at $2.23, and the 100-day moving average is at $2.24. And over the weekend, when we dubbed this, if we zoom in now to the hour time frame, when we dubbed this pump advisory, we said the top end potential and the XRP price, if it could break over the neckline, and then it would have to try to hold support on it, or it would just break back down and give the gains away, would have been the 100-day or the 50-day moving average, which we had the bearish cross, but they're essentially from this angle on top of each other. And that's exactly where you can see the red now, or the 50-day moving average. And you can see, where did it get rejected at? It got rejected at those two moving averages, and it came right back down to the neckline support resistance level, and it's trying to hold it as support and not confirm it as a breakout to the downside, which this would have been right here. If it falls back below it and starts to trade down, this whole move would just be the technical breakdown. So we're going to watch out for that over the next 24 to 36 hours as it's dancing and trying to fight and hold on this neckline. Can it stay above it and get back above the 100-day moving average and the 50 since they're in the same area? Or is it going to break down, and is it going to come back below it and then start to use that as a classic hook nose bearish reversal, uh, bearish confirmation to the downside below the neckline? So this is a critical 48 hours and a critical area for XRP as far as the short term. Are we going to be confirmed below the neckline, which is a critical technical big level, or are we going to still continue to hold the neckline and maybe trade even farther up to the 255 level? So over the next 48 hours, come here. Of course, the program director is talking. Over the next 48 hours, this neckline uh, question will be answered. But any rally, I believe, will get knocked down. Become members of Jabroni Killers. It's just, I made it as cheap and easy as $3.99. You get the first mover advantage. You get access to me like my lovely subscriber here, Brother V. Can you add? I believe that's Casper, CSRP, and Core in your next update. And we'll do that in the update right now. And to become members of Jabroni Killers, it's as simple as going to my content, clicking a video, using the video description and or the pinned comment, which would be right there where it says $2.99, but it's $3.99, or on my homepage, just hit the join button and become members of Jabroni Killers, and you will get first access to me. As far as when you ask a question, I will cover what you're asking. And I believe you're asking about Casper uh, for this. And I believe I found Casper and put it somewhere. Because that's the only, yeah, it's got to be Casper. But Casper, when we looked at it last time, I remember it being severely beaten down, I believe at all-time lows. Come here. I believe at, yeah, almost at all-time lows. We identified that obviously as a major area of underneath support. If it got broke down on this weekend pump we were looking at, we were saying it could get as high as the 50-day moving average or potentially the bottom part of this red support and resistance box that we got right here. And then you have the 100-day moving average just above it and the 200-day moving average well above it. And you can see the last few times it's tried to come up and make a rally in Casper, since it flipped below the moving averages and became bearish back here in mid to late January. You can see we made one attempt, actually our first attempt here at the end of January, beginning of February, rejected. Second attempt, mid-February, got rejected. Third attempt, late February, early March, got rejected. Fourth attempt, mid-March, and got rejected. And now we're coming up for our fifth attempt here in mid-April, and we've initially got rejected on the first candle, and now we're gonna have to watch to see if this is just gonna repeat what's happened in the past, or if this time are we gonna have a more sustained rally and try to get up to the top part of this red resistance box up near a following 200-day moving average. So that's what we're watching for in Casper. But Casper has been one of the worst performing coins on the market since it's overhyped and over pushed and over criminally influenced and manipulated and paid for to get uh, pushed out to the general public coin. It's been down and nothing but down besides brief rallies. And the Trump one was the biggest one, but it's still down from its high when it came on at current price 80%, and it's been down as much as 85%. So this is a critical time to see if the trend's going to continue down or if we can have a more substantial pump to maybe make some of these people some of their money back. And then the next one that he was asking for is CORE. I think that's Coreum. Yeah, Coreum. If we look at that, we can see we've been in an extreme, sorry, I was just looking at the chart, an extreme downturn, but we're bouncing off of nearly our all-time low. The only thing lower, we had a brief wick, I think right when this coin came out where it started was the all-time low, and then it quickly shot up right after that, a tremendous amount of percentage-wise. We got held support on this major area, and we were saying when we came down here, could there be a potential pump all the way up to that 0.203 as the price has been severely suppressed? We're up against the 50-day moving average in the daily time frame. If we go ahead and put that on there, clone, 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 we can go ahead and put the 100-day moving average on there, 50-day moving average, and then the 200-day. And the daily, this coin is not long enough to have a 200-day moving average. And we're going to want to change that to an even lighter color to make a distinction there. There we go. So right now we're at the 50-day and the daily. If we want to keep this pump going, it would be nice to see the volume pick up, which it really hasn't, to try to push it up near that 16 cents or the 100-day moving average in the daily time frame. If we zoom in and look at it in the hour time frame, you can see it almost looks like a cliff. And any kind of resistance and it falls down, it'll fall quickly back down to this 10-cent level, right? So we need some buyers to come in if we want to push this over the 50-day moving average and get it up near the 100-day moving average. But there's a lot of overhead resistance for the price to go up. We're really going to need to see a decent move in volume and new interest into here to get the price to pump and sustain itself and not just have a rapid sell off because there's a lot of overhead resistance above it. But we're going to continue to watch because this was an area before this weekend started that we were already saying we should be watching uh, because it's a major technical bounce level where there should be a lot of buyers, right? So we did look at that. We just covered that. Remember, Jabroni Killer, I appreciate it. What else do we have? XRP, we've looked at. Been subscribed for a month and enjoyed your content. Keep the truth and facts of what's happening. Have you seen the 1250 news at XRP as a standard 2020? I have seen those, uh, man, 2675, and I appreciate your support. I have seen talk of that. I've seen talk of going hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, and all that. If I had to be honest with you, on the next leg of the bull market, whenever that shall be, the peak of it, and a hysteria pump, I could see it going $5 or $6. I'd be comfortable saying that $12.50 is possible. That is something that could happen. Probably not the most likely scenario, but I could see a $5 or $6 XRP at the top of the next pump, whenever that shall be. I appreciate all the support. Uh, Ethereum, Steven 4720. Let's go look at Ethereum. We talked about Ethereum, in my mind, not likely to go down to $400 in the immediate term. Well, we covered how it could in the monthly time frame and what that would take. But in the current uh, state of the market, if we go into the daily time frame and look at what's going on right now, we can see that was the monthly time frame on how the moving averages would have to progress into the future to get you down to a target as low as a $400 sometime this year. But right now, what we're looking at in the daily time frame is we've had the golden bears cross. Oops, that should be up there. Give me that. We've had the golden bear. Come on. The golden bears cross where the 50 days down there at 1900 and change. The 100-day moving average is sitting above it at about 2,300 and change, and the 200-day moving average is sitting up there at 2606. And it's dipped in right in the middle of a major support resistance level that's down here between uh, the $1,812 and the $1,012. And we're just going to clean this up a little bit. And currently, right now, we've dipped below it, but we're trying to get some support, which could happen. And if the pump wants to continue, you would need to see it get on top of this box, hold that box, and then try to trade up into a heavy sell pressure above it, which is the following moving averages in the daily and in the weekly. But you would want to get on top of that 1812. If you have another big leg to the downside, $1,012 would be a major area of support. And you would think if you project it coming down here into the future, you should get some kind of a bounce back to the upside, potentially as high as the top part of this resistance box. So that's something to be watching out for in the future. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace and love. The Rock Eyebrow, J.